What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a brand new series with the game Novus Inceptio. Now, this game is developed by Magic Productions, and from what I understand, it's mostly one guy or just a few guys or something. Right now, it is currently, I think, on Steam for like $6.79 US dollars, and unfortunately, they are on, I guess, a hiatus as far as updates go. Um, from what I understand, in the message that he left behind or in a document that he released, it's not dead. He is working on it. He is still going to continue to develop this game and make more of it and add more things and add the multiplayer one day. It's just not here yet. So, with that being said, it's still, in my opinion, a very fun, interesting, a new game, I guess, that kind of explores some avenues that some games don't, right? So, with that being said, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and create a new game here. Go ahead and hit play, and I'll see you guys once the game is up. 3, 2, 1. Alright, guys, so when you first load into the game, and I just now realized you can actually heal right here, it kind of sends you through like a tutorial. This is where you spawn in at. You're in I don't know, a facility of sorts. And right now they just kind of want you to go through some of the quests out on the right here. It's a very short tutorial, but you can, you know, understand the game, I guess, a bit more, right? So here's just like a bank, I think. I'm not sure if this is actually shared between characters or not. I don't ever actually really use it, but it is there. Here is, I guess, like a shop. I've never actually used this, so to be fair, I'm not entirely sure what is in here. Right now, it kind of looks like you can get almost anything. So a couple blueprints. You got a cloning station, um, right? A trade terminal, clam, lane paper, ancient core, and you just got some various other things as well, right? So maybe we'll check out that in a future episode, but right now it's not really all that important, seeing as how we don't have any money. Here, see, this just drives home that this is I guess, a cloning facility of you, right? Which brings me on to the next point at the top left. You can kind of see where it says like how old you are. It says age and the generation number. So once you get up to the age of 75, you stop aging. So during that time, you can increase your skills in various things like mining or combat, all the above, um, and crafting, and then once you reach 75, like I said, you stop aging. But at that point, you can go to like one of the obelisks that we'll see here soon, as well as, or even come back here, I believe. And you'll go to Generation 2. And you'll keep everything that you've learned, since it is your own clone. But you'll start back over from age 18. That's like their progression system, as far as like skills and things like that. So I'm not really explaining any of these quests. They're pretty much, hey, this is how you walk, this is how you move, and this is going to teach us how to what forge or botanize, I guess, right? So it's just one on the keyboard by default. I'm not sure if this game actually has controller support or not. But let's just run around here. You can't sit there and do it in the same spot. Okay, so let's just run around until we can get it all. Okay, not that one. Alright, this is sometimes like it's a bit, I don't know, kind of crazy. Alright, there we go. Now they want us to use the number 2 ability, which is the forge. Right, so we forge for items, mostly like, I don't know, the first time was stone, the second time was a bone, and that time was a hive. And okay, some other stuff, I guess. I think that's from the quest. Alright, so from here, obviously, it just wants us to eat something, right? Teach us about how we have a hunger system and a thirst system, which is what we get onto next, right? So let's go ahead and hit 4 on the keyboard by default, which is water bottle. And make sure you don't move during that process, because I have before, which kind of, it'll give you the quest, but it won't actually give you the empty bottle that you need for the very following quest. Right, so let's just go ahead and fill that up. Go ahead that down here as well. Alright, and let me see here. Oh, now we can, by hitting E, standing in water, we can drink directly from the water, so we don't have to fill up a water bottle. Or if we just don't have any, we don't have to. Okay. Next, right next to where you were told to come anyway, there's these 2 rocks here. Just stand near one and right click on it to forge for rocks. Alright, now we're going to kind of do the same thing, just when it comes to trees and stuff, right? So trees are a little bit different, for the sheer fact if you have multiple actions, right? So, as you can see, if you hit E, you'll get some bark, which you might as well do. You're going to need that here soon. Hitting F will get you the branches you need for the quest. And I don't think I've ever actually used the resin, but it's here as well. Okay. So, the other one is hold down right click to chop it down, but we don't have an axe yet, which is kind of what this wants us to do. So if you look at any shrubs or anything like that, all you have to do is walk up to it and hit E. You just have to hit it once, and it'll continuously harvesting that particular item until it's gone. Right. So, wants us to craft a beginner's crude axe. Once again, everything I mentioned is on a keyboard. I'm not sure if this has controller support or not, but go ahead and hit X, and we'll just go to basic crafting, tools and weapons, and look at the crude axe. Now, as you see, most of it's very primitive stuff. Obviously, it's a crude axe, but it's stone, branch, and the fiber. Okay, so the cool thing is you can just click on the item that you don't have, right, and it'll just take you to that crafting window. And if that's something else, you can click on it to go to the next one. And you can always have a previous recipe back from that point. Okay, so let's go ahead and we're gonna make let's make like 8 of these or something, right? Got plenty of leaves from that. We'll go back, that'll craft up, and craft a stone axe. At the top right, you have your inventory. Okay, so you instantly just go from your inventory from the crafting menu. Take the axe, I want you to drag it onto your tool belt. Now, anything you put in this tool belt does count towards the max of weight that you can carry. But at the same time, one of the benefits of it is you're going to have multiple tools, right? To break up rocks, to forge for this, to do that, to do that. And you never actually have to switch items. It will automatically use the item that it knows to use. So therefore, you don't have to keep on switching stuff back and forth from a hotbar. Alright, now once you chop down the tree, you have the same options. You just don't get as much. It's like 1 here, 1, 1. Some actually have more, just like the chopping down of the logs. Alright, so I got 3 logs from that, all spruce, right? Obviously, that's a spruce tree. So now it wants us to craft a hammer. It wants us to craft a wooden hammer, I believe. So let's just go down to the weapons and toolsmithing down here, not the basic crafting. And we're just going to go down to, see, tools, and we're going to select hammer. Okay, so from here, you need two wooden heads of the thing, so it needs shafts, right? So I know just from experience of playing before, this needs two, but we're going to make one extra one because we're going to need it for the handle. Okay, so let's just go ahead and do that. All right, so we're going to now use two of these for the head, because remember, I'm just going back one step that I've clicked on, and then we just click on the handle. Once again, I knew I needed one extra, so I already have it. Now the twine, once again, I made extra of these last time as well, so it's just a pretty simple making of the twine. We'll go back, and there you have it. We have the hammer. So pick this up. We'll put this in our toolbar as well. And what we're going to do from this point, and I'm just going to put all this stuff down in our little robot here. It's going to carry everything for us. And it says hit F2, but you know what? Along the way, I am just going to kind of collect some resources and talk for a brief second. I'm not going to collect too many um, while I'm on camera because it'll probably take me quite a few minutes to do. But something else I just kind of want to talk about is the idea in the future for this little series, major series. I'm not entirely sure. We'll go for however long it takes. But once we get over to that area over there, there's a building spot, right? That we can build some buildings and all the other good jazz, right? Anyway, I'll get up. No, okay. So the building over there, it's going to be a town, I guess, and the town is going to be all these buildings, I guess, that they have in the game that will automatically forage items for you, right? And so I kind of want multiple because you can tier them up, get different tiers of stuff, and just get better gear, right? So that comes, everything has a tier level. Everything from wood, right? So you can get like tier 1 bar, tier 2 and 3. I'm not sure how high it goes, but it can all tier up. Same thing with stone and bones and leaves and everything. Okay, so by tiering that up, using the better items or tier stuff for your items, you can kind of get resources better or have a bonus perk to the crafting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to collect some more resources, head my way over there. Alright, so I'm finally making my way over to the marker here, which is the obelisk I was talking about earlier. Oh, perfect. So I can talk about those as well. But anyway, so once you're here, like I said, that's pretty much all it wants you to do. Now it wants you to get some herbs and just collect 1,000 resources, right? But periodically you will find these, the box from the creators, right? I'm assuming these are going to be a thing to stay in the game. It's not just an alpha thing or anything like that, right? So let's just click on it. A lot of times at the very beginning of the game, you'll get the same stuff, right? A rune fragment, empty bottle, and that kind of thing, right? Then they disappear, and they can pretty much spawn randomly anywhere, right? So it's definitely worth getting, if nothing else, for the bottles and some of the other little things. So I want to bring you over here before I continued on any other quest, and before I went to a new episode. So over here, what's there? You can kind of see the marker right there, right where the crosshairs are. So this huge flat area up here is your building zone. Okay, so we go to the map here, kind of zoom in down here. You have a building area here. Okay, you'll have another one off over here. So forth and so on. There's another one here. Looks like one over here. A couple of them spread throughout the world. Alright, so this is not an infinite type of world, but it looks pretty, like a pretty decent size, to be fair, okay? So, that's another one. I've never made it as far as like going to one of these or anything like that. So I'm not entirely sure if there's more storyline into this or what. But I do kind of want to make sure I visit all these areas. What is that, like, yellow part there? Is that the trade thing? I don't know. Anyway, doesn't matter. So once you're in the building zone, you can go ahead and hit B, right? This will bring you to, well, to your new home, I guess, right? Where you could build and, ooh, crap. So by holding right click, you can just kind of move around a bit. You have to have right click held down in order to use WASD. And then you just kind of like fly around a little bit so you can get a better vantage point or something. So what I'm going to do is, you can kind of see me there, right here, is go into structures. Right now, these you can just plop down, and then it's going to make you build stuff, right? Or make stuff in order to build it, right? So let's go for like the cottage house here, okay? Something small. You can also go for the villa, which is much larger, but does take quite a bit more resources. But you know what? Let's actually go for the villa. It's gonna take a quite a long time to build it all up, but you know what? We'll get to that possibly next episode, or maybe not. I'm not entirely sure. So yeah, obviously like it grows like if it's on top of terrain, so it sits higher up, and that this and that, right? So I could build this, and then eventually build like some lumber mills and things. You know what? In fact, let's get rid of that. Let's build some stuff that's gonna help us, right? So let's get into. Let's go with the lumber mill, right? So, oop, should I? Okay. Trying to think where the lumber mill should be. Thinking maybe back here. I think this is still part of the area. So let's go ahead, look into there, plop in that down. No, is that out of the building area? Is it right click? I just did this. I don't think so. All right, so that must be just outside of the building area. So let's see if it works back here. No, doesn't seem like it's wanting to work where I want it to. I'm not entirely sure how far the building area goes. So let's see if I can put it back over in this direction just a little bit. Right, so it doesn't want to really work for me here. Let's head up, get a better aerial view. So I know the markers are right around here somewhere, so I'm wondering if I can actually put it back here then. Zoom in a little bit more. There we go. Okay. So, over here will be our lumber mill. And what kind of anomaly is that? If you actually look at the top in the middle, once you get somewhat kind of close, that's a desert. We don't want that. Not yet, okay? So, I'm going to leave these trees alone. When I start cutting down stuff, I'll probably start over there and just start demolishing all that. But if you actually click on it, it'll show you what it needs, right? It needs 3 log packs, 2 brick packs, and a twine pack, okay? Not incredibly difficult, but something that's going to take a little bit of time. So, what I'm going to do is in between episodes, I'm going to collect a bunch of logs and stone and leaves. And when I come back in episode 2, we're going to start off by building this. That way, we have some resources being generated even when we're offline. So, guys, with that being said, thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you guys next time.